And this happens more than people like to admit. So you have won a contract, it's $20,000, it's for some forklift parts, you get the contract, don't have the funding to fulfill the contract, but you do the entrepreneurial thing and you get the funding, you apply for net 30 terms at your supplier, they work you up to half of what you need, right? So they're willing to give you net 30 on half, and then you get the other half from however you can get it, right? So you get enough, you order the parts, you now are in contact with the contracting officer, letting them know about it being on back order and all the things and what's going on. And so you're sending emails and communicating regularly, trying to see if you need to get an extension. They tell you that the end user, if the end user doesn't have a problem with it, you don't need to do a mod to cancel. But so you just continue on. Yes.
Yeah.
So you finally go, you get it, you get a phone call from someone who you don't recognize about this order. So you answer the phone while you're at work on your job site, and he starts asking you questions. And when
this is a day he calls me the day after I won the contract, and he's telling me, well, we have a lot of people in line. So I thought my wife thought it was a scam. So now I'm getting nervous. So that's just to throw that in there, because I'm like, wait, what? If he knew, if he's a contracting officer, which I thought, then why would he say that we have multiple bids on this and it's a lot of money we're spending with the government, so we need to make sure this is legit. So I'm thinking, wow, I'm this is my first time, so I'm trying to be very respectful. I'm at work, so yeah.
So the first mistake that you made was telling that man you were at work. Okay, so here's a couple things. When you are brand new in this space, the last thing that the government wants to know is that you are brand new in this space. Now, I know you're new. You know you're new, but they need to feel confident that you can deliver. But you got to start somewhere. So obviously you're new. That's fine. You have to start somewhere, right? But you can't let them know that that's where you're starting. As far as they're concerned, you are the subject matter expert, and this is what you do every day, all day. Do you understand what I'm saying? As far as they're concerned, hey, listen, you know what? I'm on another job site, because you are. You're not at work. You don't tell them people you at work. I'm on another job site at this time. Is there a problem? Because remember too, some of these people have their people in line that they think are going to win that award. And if you come lower than homeboy Harry, who they always give the contract to, they're questioning you. They want to know how'd you get in here? Who opened the door and let you in? Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to keep all of those things in mind. When you call, you're the subject matter expert. You are the person responsible for government contracts at that the government contracting division at your company. That's who you are. That's who you are. You are the professional. You know all the things about all the things as far as they're concerned. Because the only people that care about you being new and want to help you are the people at the OSDBU office, the Office of Small Disadvantaged Business Utilization, who give no contracts. They just give information. The end user wants to know you're going to deliver on time. It's going to be right. We're not going to have no problems. I'm not going to have to chase you. So everything about what you said sent up all the red flags. And what you do when you do that is you run the risk of messing yourself up for additional awards. Because it's going to be like, this that new guy. He don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
The other thing is every single piece of correspondence, email. Every time you get an award, if anybody else other than the person listed on your award, if anyone else contacts you, any other specialist, right? Anybody, any end user, whoever, if they contact you, you are always CCing your post-award contracting officer person. You're always copying that person. And it's only through email.
Right, because he reached out and he was texting me, so I thought that was weird, and I wanted to ask you, I was like, well, I don't think Sirena goes through that, because I think, well, it seems like everyone does email, so they have a record. So I'm like, why is this guy texting me? So I thought at first maybe it's a competition. They got my cage code, so we were up all night when I got home trying to figure how did this guy get my number? Who is he? Like,
yeah.
Why does he want to meet? So I started thinking, oh, that may be a scam. I'm like, oh my goodness.
No, it's just that you made him feel uneasy. So now he's looking for possibly even a reason to disqualify you, because like I said, some of these people send their people to award. Right. It happens everywhere. I don't care if it's the government, y'all. Like we don't have to act like they don't do the good old boys club everywhere. Okay. Right, and so when you come in new, you gotta know you're kicking somebody else out. This is not the first time they purchased that, but it's the first time they purchased it with you. So guess what that means? Yeah. The person that usually gets that award all of a sudden didn't, because somebody else new showed up. So now we have to send this new person through some extraness and make sure they qualify, in hopes that they will back out, and then the next person in line will get the award like they always do.
I didn't. Yeah, I was just start taking it personal. Like, man, this guy I'm a new guy. He's putting, content out there. Like, wow, he's really putting me down. I'm like, no, and professional,
right? And that's why I tell you guys, like, you definitely have to change your tone when you're on. And then you're a former Marine, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I need you to get your former Marine on.
That's right.
Period. That's who you are. You're not the new guy who's just figuring out how to supply stuff to the government. What's your rank? What's your rank? And what would you be?
I got up. Well, yeah, I got up to Lance Corporal, which is E3, but I got out. I only did 6 years. Well, 5.5. So I got out, but came from Japan, Hawaii, and I came back to California to call home.
Come on, sir.
Right, because I was talking to the other guys there, and we were talking about equipment and how long I've been in. So I got the jargon, I got the lingo. So I was hoping to meet the guy. Like, okay, maybe once I meet him, that hey, I'm in you guys Army, but I'm a military guy as well, and I understand. Oh, I know that I used to drive Humvees, and so hey, I know this equipment. I know forklifts.
Right,
but he never came out.
Right, because now you already gave him the red flags, but that's okay, because you're gonna have other times. But do you see what I'm saying? You got to get your former Marine on, not newbie business. No, you talk the lingo like this is what you supply every day, all the time. Because that's the only approach you have. The other thing is the communication we addressed. So we got that. So you definitely make sure you communicate by email, people. You got to do that. And there was something else that you said. There was something else. They said
that first mistake, I let them know I had a side gig. I just I'm now starting. So
we're never gonna do that again. We're never gonna do that again. Oh, and then the financing piece. So so we know where we are there. Are you banking with Navy Federal?
I was. I ended up going to B of A because at the time I was trying to get some loans for. I had a car business for Turo.
Okay.
And they found out they were giving out 5. You could get 5 car loans with the Bank of America.
Mm-hmm.
And so I jumped ship and went with them to try and do that, but things didn't work out the way I planned.
You have a business partner? Or is your wife part of your business or no?
No, she's not. I do everything solo. She works from home and she has a lot to do. So
okay.
I'm a one-man show, so I'm juggling a lot.
Okay, yep, not for long, because that's what we're gonna be working on, you growing and scaling. But no, I would definitely keep that Navy Federal relationship when it comes to.
Right, my wife's still with them. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like financing and things for your business, Navy Federal is probably one of the top, places to be. And and so you want to keep that relationship.
Yeah.
Bank of America, you know how I feel about them. They don't sponsor any of my content, so I can say what I want.
They got fees for everything.
Exactly. It costs to walk into the bank. So right now here was the other thing I was going to tell you. There are some things that you won't learn until you actually do it, and it just is what it is. I know that a lot of people are trying to get all the steps perfectly, all the things aligned, everything in order before they start, so that they don't have to deal with this stuff. But honestly, Bert, you have done the work. Like the stuff that you've learned in what you feel like might be like a terrible experience. It is the best learning ground. I promise. Some of this stuff I wouldn't be able to teach you. You have to, you gotta get it like you got it. Now there are things that we can mitigate, right, to make it less dramatic and traumatic. All right, there are things that we can do so that conversation piece that would have definitely solved a lot of problems. And I do talk to you about that in the course, so that's something to revisit. That would have solved some problems. The other thing about having all the information on email and always having written communication, that would solve some things. But in terms of you having to talk to your supplier, fill out the net 30, go back to your supplier because of the resource constraint, right? Go back and say, hey, that ain't enough. And guess what they did? They came back and gave you 5,000 more. I couldn't teach you that. I mean, I can tell you to try those things, but you needed to learn. So guess what's going to happen the next time you fill out an application to do net 30? What you going to do?
I'm going to ask for more. And if they say no, I'm going to ask for more again.
Exactly. Right? Why? Because you learned it.
Supervisor.
Exactly. Why? Because you learned it on this one, on your first one. You know what I'm saying?
Because I did not expect it, and it's not like I had to explain credit. So I told my wife it was like almost a miracle to me, because I have fresh BCAT. I lost the car under the business. So I'm like, baby, my credit is bad with the BCAT, and the business credit is bad. So no way these guys gonna get. So I was even shooting myself in the foot and talking negative. So until I was like, well, you know what? Let me just try anyway. Still enough.
And sure enough, you tried twice and you got results. So now another lesson that goes in the back pocket, right? But this is why we work on 25,000 and 250,000 and below, because you don't want to learn this at 200,000 even. You want to learn this right now with this good $20,000. Okay, so that is it. We want to learn with that. Now the goal is not to lose, obviously, but if you come close to, I got $1 profit, it's a big lesson. But it is going to help you tremendously. And then, you got to meet some folks. So you delivered right to the base. You went on base and delivered your own product.
Oh, yes. And, I specifically go into, because my DIBBS account is still frozen. I'll get into that. But because of, I specifically chose California. So I figured, let's say in my head, I thought, well, if I screw up on shipping and anything, I could just put everything on a border truck, put everything in my truck, I'll take it directly. And so that was my line of thought. And I was like, you know what, it's a base. I could probably make friends. I could talk to somebody, I could go there and see what else they need. So I did that on purpose. So it worked out where, okay, I got this. It's California. Actually, it's only 30-minute drive.
Okay.
On the freeway.
Smart.
So it's not far.
Smart. So for other people, because this is again things that other people can learn from, you know what I'm saying? So smart. If you are going to, you're going to try this because you won this on Unison Global, right? So you found one that was parts that you recognize, something you're familiar with, and in the state where you are. So in case anything happened, at least you knew worst case scenario, you could drive it, You could take it,
Yeah.
you could deliver it.
Yeah.
So that's good. Now, here's my question to you. So how are these parts delivered? Were they boxed and labeled with your information on it? Did somebody give you a receipt saying that they received the parts? How do we confirm that the parts have been received?
Okay, great question. So what I did, I looked at the contract again, and it had a shipping description, which
Mhm.
was basically you have to have a bill of lading, and in that bill of lading, there needed to be the weights and the description, and also in that it needed to have on every package the cage number,
Yep.
or else you wouldn't get paid, and the address and the POC, which is the
Point of
personal
contact.
right? Yeah, point of contact. So what I did, and I was nervous too, so I actually went online, and my wife, she's good at this. While I'm working, she's Googling bill of lading. I found one of the government one that they used, and I thought, oh, maybe that's it. And then she found a standardized one. So I did two, and then I said, well, maybe let me just go with the government bill of lading that I found, and I fill that out. And so I handwritten some of it. It was too long, some of the description, and I took that with the parts, every box, every little box, big box, and it was basically like maybe 80 pounds, not even. It was about maybe 30 pounds.
Okay.
The fuel filters, oil filters, little parts. So what I did, I made photocopies of the order that I fulfilled that when I did pick up the parts at the parts department, and I highlighted, well, this part is in this box. This part is in this box. With every box, I also added a copy of the bill of lading. So when I got there, I got packing slips, you know, like the one you get on Granger or whatever. Yep. I got those, and I stuck everything out, and actually I weighed everything. So this is funny. So we didn't have, some of the parts were so small that I didn't have they were under a pound for like some of the filters. So I took my wife's scale, and I stood on it, and I was like 188 or something. And so I put it on my head, and it went up to like 188.9 or whatever. So I look at it, 0.9 pounds. That's a week. You
better do whatever it takes.
Yep. I was like, I'm up there with my wife and my mother-in-law just laughing. What are you doing? I had boxes on my head and doing again, okay, this way. So I got the weight.
Well, I'm just saying, you better do what you can where you are with what you have. You already know that's my mantra.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so she checked it in. So the young lady that came out, she checked and approved that everything was okay.
I had her look at it, and I had her sign the bill of lading. Well, she signed the bill of lading, and I asked if she could sign my copies of the orders that I delivered, which were highlighted. So she signed both, and I took it, and her name was Kayla. It was easy because my daughter's Kayla too. So I remember Kayla Jones, and then she signed, and I took photocopies, and I left. So I was hoping, and I hope that does it, because that was one of the questions I had. Did I need to get the RFID?
Oh, RFID.
Or RFID. But at this time it was too late.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let me put all this labeling and stickers and packing slips together. And I did it in my garage that Sunday. So I was ready Monday morning to deliver.
Come on, garage and delivery truck and home scale with boxes on your head, and you better do whatever it takes to get it delivered that first time with that good $20,000 award, which is good enough for you to learn all your lessons.
All my lessons. I also learned too, which I didn't calculate. So I lost $500.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. So I didn't know or didn't calculate Unisum's fee. And I worked it out. I pulled out my calculator. It's 3%.
Yeah.
So just whoever goes on Unisum, make sure you add that to whatever bid. They'll take 3%.
Yes, so that is such a good point, and this is why if you're in our program, you got to revisit that Unison lesson, because we do clarify for you that the Unison charges you a fee, but they only charge you when you win. It doesn't cost to have the program. It doesn't cost to put the quote in, but at the end, you know, when they add their fee to your price, it makes your bid higher because they've put their fee in it. So when you get that award, you're not getting that whole amount because that whole amount includes their fee and they expect their fee. So you definitely have to be careful, and you gotta look at those numbers as the best you can. And one of the things I know a couple of our students have done, even though they're using, you know, the Unison system to put their quotes and stuff in, but they have their own spreadsheet that they've created. So now they know every single time. Like even when they win it, they put it back in and they say, okay, this goes to Unison off the top. So I know I'm only working with this. And so that's another lesson learned, is a $500 lesson. But again, so much better than a $500,000 lesson or a $50,000 lesson. 500 will take it.
Yes.
And then your confidence is built.
No, yes.
You know what?
You know, I'm excited, but I'm a little disappointed how this guy handled, you know, I was expecting more professionalism, but that's fine. But you know, the perspective you gave me, that makes sense, because I found out this order has been sitting there for 2 years at the parts department. And they're like, why? The guy told me that, why do I need to sell it to you? You guys are gonna sell it, make a profit. We're trying to sell it to the base ourselves. And I told him, well, let me tell you why that can't happen. I explained to him because it's set aside from the government. And he's like, oh, okay. He actually told me, this one guy's like, well, they're not gonna sell it to you. I said, well, you know, I said, when I meet people usually like me. We'll see. And I came back on about getting the parts. So
exactly. And okay, so you bring up another thing that you got to consider too, right? And now these are some of the things we go in deeper. And so I do have I have what's called a Grow and Scale Mastermind, and it's for those that have been in our program that are winning contracts, and they're looking to grow and scale. And so we work on higher level strategies and things like that as they're winning awards. But here you bring out a really good point, and it's something to take note of right now, right? When you are having these conversations, like the person you spoke with at the parts department, remember, when you're supplying and you're getting the parts from them, they never lose. They always win. When you're getting the parts from the manufacturer, they always win. And the better you're able to communicate that story, the easier this is going to be, because they always win, because you always have to order from them. So whether the government orders directly or you order it, they still get paid. They get paid either way. They get paid at whatever price they want to get paid at, either the price that they give to you or the price they give to the government. Either way, it's a win-win for the manufacturer, or if it's a distributor in that case, right? So it's a win-win for them, because you're exchanging money with them. So they always win. And when you can communicate that and make yourself a service provider to them and become an alliance partner, not somebody that's just coming in and get the stuff and take it away. You know what I'm saying? When you can present yourself as a partner, aligning with them, everybody had to start somewhere. Everybody. So
I mean, I was nervous. I know I was but I was like, oh, this is all new. So, I'm trying to be respectful, but I wasn't sure who he was, and I'm like, well, and then it threw me off. Well, I didn't read in the program where people call you, so I'm thinking, what's going on here? So,
oh no, you will get calls when you start getting awards for sure. Because remember, all of your information is on SAM. All you have to do is look up your SAM profile, and they're going to call you.
Right? Yep, it's on there.
But I need only the Marine to speak. Okay, that's the only person that speaks on behalf of your business going forward. Fair enough?
Yeah. Yes. Good.
Oh, sorry. I think
no.
I pressed something by mistake. Hold on 1 second. So I just wanted y'all to hear that part of the conversation. This should be good learning I'm sitting here coaching one of our students, just helping them get through what they had, which was a interesting learning experience with their first award. So I'm Sirena Moore Thomas. Everything else about what we do, how we do it is all in the description. We have a challenge coming up soon and you should be a part of it. Okay, so let's go get it.